How to export plot results from CircuitLab to MATLAB. So here I have a circuit that I would like to simulate and plot the results in MATLAB. So first I go and get it all working in CircuitLab. So here I have some nice results, and I'd like to get those over into MATLAB. So I click on Export Plot CSV and it brings it up. I hit Control C to copy everything to the clipboard. Then I come over here to MATLAB, and there's a very nice tool called UI import, and that will import either from a file, so if I saved that CSV to a file I could later do this step, or from the clipboard directly. So I'm going to go from the clipboard since that's where everything is, and it kind of analyzes this clipboard and tries to figure out what's going on. It does a pretty good job. In this case it notices that that first line is a header, so it sets this to 1, and it realizes that comma is the column separator. So here are the data that are generated. I go to the next step, and I have a choice of where to save the data. Right now it's going to save the data in a 36:3 matrix. You also have the choice to create vectors from each column, and I'm going to do that. Now the vector names are a little bit awkward because it gets it from that title. And you can see the first one is when that RCE0 is 0, and the second one is when RCE0 is 130. You could of course rename them when it's in there in the MATLAB if you want. So now I've got them into MATLAB and they're here. And I would like to use a since this is a semi-log plot, back over here in CircuitLab you can see this is logarithmic in the frequency domain and linear in dB. Now dB itself is a logarithmic scale, but so now what I want to do is semi-log x, and you say frequency versus, and I went ahead and chose to use the very long name, and I specified the fact that I want, sorry about that, I specified the fact that I want this to be red with dots and a line. And if you look at the help documentation you can see how that works. The second one I specified to be black with stars and a line. So when I do that I get when I actually do that, there we go, I get my basic plot. And of course once I have my basic plot I can annotate it using the standard MATLAB tools. I can either go in and edit this manually using the point and click stuff, or I tend to write scripts and use the command line. So I'll tend to go ahead and put in a title and an X label and a legend. And so now I have something which has marks for all of the data points, and I've got a legend so I know which line is which. I've got a nice title up on top. Of course if it's in a report I would not put this here, I would put that in the text. My X label is, or my X-axis is labeled, and this is in Hertz, so I've got everything. Now if I wanted to go ahead and annotate this, I could go ahead and add an arrow and point to a specific data point if I wanted to. So if I knew that was my 3 dB point, for example, I could go ahead and mark that up. And this is my lower corner frequency. I could find my upper corner frequency. The data cursor is very nice for that. It's a lot like CircuitLab in that you can point to a particular data point and you can see what the point is. So there's my upper corner frequency. So that's how you go from MATLAB or from CircuitLab to MATLAB when you're doing plots.